Warm-up 6-1. The first question is translate. 4 times the sum of a number and 13 is at most negative 23. So for this one here, we want to break this apart into its pieces. We want to first notice that it says is at most. So this is going to tell us that this is an inequality operator. So the next thing we'll look at is sum of a number and 13. And we'll represent that as x plus 13. 4 times that, we just take our 4 and multiply that by the whole addition problem. Then from here we notice that is at most is the same thing as less than or equal to. This is the tricky part. And that is going to be less than or equal to negative 23 because it's at most that amount. So it cannot be over that amount. So that's what makes these tricky. The next one is an absolute value and order of operations problem, so you need to be careful and watch your steps. First, we're going to look at what's inside the absolute value brackets. Using PEMDAS, our exponent is done first. 3 to the third is 27. And then we drop that down, minus 6 times 5. I suggest you take each step at a time and write them down till you get to your final answer. The next thing we're going to do is the multiplication. 6 times 5 is 30. Don't make the mistake of doing the subtraction first because multiplication comes before subtraction in the order in which we do these calculations. Lastly, we come down, we have 27 minus 30, which will give us a negative 3, but it is inside the absolute value bracket, so that means that the value is actually going to be evaluated as a 3. An absolute value of negative 3 is a positive 3, and then we're going to take our 2 times 3 is equal to 6. That's how we get our final answer of 6. Next we have a word problem. It involves converting units. What is 78 feet per minute in miles per hour? Round to the nearest tenth. And then it gives you the conversion of 5,280 feet equaling 1 mile. So we have 78 feet per minute. So the first thing we want to do is we want to figure out how many feet per hour so that we get closer to what we're converting to, which is in this case miles per hour. So 78 times 60, because there's 60 minutes in an hour, will tell us that we're going to actually travel 4,680 feet in 1 hour. So we're getting closer to what we need. The final step is we have to figure out how many miles those feet convert to. So in order to do that, we have to go ahead and divide that number by 5,280. When we do that division, we're going to come out with 0.886. And remember, it says round to the nearest tenth. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and look at our tenth place, our value, our digit there. And we're going to look to the right and notice 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So this is more than 5, so that means we're going to raise this digit to 9. So our final answer is 0.9. So 78 feet per minute in miles per hour would be 0.9 miles per hour.